Hey, good morning, everyone. How's it going today? Coach Alvarez here, back at you with another episode, Coffee with Coach, on this awesome Monday morning. Hope you're up, doing well, got the mind in the right place. But if not, as always, let's put it in the right place. So, going through the normal routine as always, listening to the goodies, the mental vitamins every day. And I'm still listening to this video because I'm trying to share these goodies from this video that's about 48 minutes long in increments, little pieces and chunks here to get you the goodies. Morning, Graham. So Dabo Swinney, again, it's about positive leadership, okay? And a lot of really good stuff in here that I've been sharing over the last few days. But today I want to get on, last year's touchdowns doesn't score points today or points this year, okay? And what he means by that, in this interview, he's talking to his players in a couple different scenarios, right? Like, because the question was, hey, coach, how do you stop the complacency, the plateaus, because he's talking about how you start off and you're going up and then you hit the plateau and then eventually you'll come back down and then you're just going through these peaks and valleys, so to speak. And so the guy interviewing was asking him, what's his, how does he keep his team and his players, with the mindset of going forward all the time? And he said it's a daily practice that they do, that he has to constantly correct people and check people and remind people, like for instance, he's had, some good, receivers or whatever, whoever doing a great thing in the game. But he just used one example, like, that touchdown you scored last year doesn't count this year. It doesn't count today. It's gone. It's already over and done with. It's in the rearview mirror. We got to look forward. What are we doing today to make things better? And he also had on the other end of that where he was talking about they had a home game and they had it all planned out. Like, they were doing really good. And they just thought, they were just going to go into this game, I guess, against you kind of play down to your opponent sometime. And if you're an athlete and you compete a lot, then you know what that means. Where, like, if you got someone that is a major threat to you winning, you're gonna bring it. You got the jitters. You're gonna bring that fire because it's gonna be a tough fight. But if you have an opponent to where and like especially in college football, they match some of these teams up where the opposite team just wants to get on national coverage, so they just, it's going to be a blowout, right? So anyways, he's talking about how his son was going to get baptized and it's going to be a great weekend. They're going to win the game on Saturday. He's going to get his son baptized on Sunday. Well, they lost the game. And he's talking about how he went to church the next day. And it was a very awkward feeling because, he normally doesn't sit in the front row, but he had to sit in the front row because his son's getting baptized. So he's talking about how awkward that was to where, you just got some funny looks and feelings from the people in the community where, hey, man, you just lost this game to basically some chumps, And anyways, so someone in the church was like, hey, coach, did you see your players? And he said, what players? Like, what are you talking about? He said, hey, your players are in the back row. And I guess he had a bunch of his players there, and they were kind of huddled up, so to speak, like saying a prayer for him and his family and the baptism and everything like that. And he says it just goes to show you, like, the game, meant something. They were supposed to get the win because that's what he's hired to do. He's hired to win games. But at the end of the day, it was more than that. So the players already put that in the rearview mirror and they're looking at today. What was happening today? And his son was getting baptized a special day. So his players were there for him, just like he's there for his players, so on and so forth. So there's going to be times where you're going to do good. When we do good, like that's it. Like we celebrate that day and appreciate the moment. And then boom, it's over and done with and it's on to the next. And then there's going to be times where we just suck. We made some bad mistakes, made some errors, and we got to move on and put it past us, put it in the rearview mirror. So regardless if it's good or bad, it's like, what's next? Again, I really like that analogy. Like, man, just last year's touchdown doesn't mean anything today. It doesn't score points today. So whatever you did last week, last month, last year, yesterday, you had some wins. Great, celebrate them. But today's a different day. And if you had some losses, things didn't really go your way last week, last month, this year so far. Oh well, just got put in the rearview mirror and get after it today. So with this being Monday, start to a new day, start to a new week. You know, got to put it behind us, whether you won or lost. It's what's next. To keep these plateaus from happening, these peaks and valleys, going ups and downs. It's just always what next, always trying to grow and get better. You know, what are you reading? What are you listening to? You know, what are you doing today different than you did, you know, yesterday? Where's the mindset at? Is it positive? Is it negative? You know, what are you eating? Okay, what are you eating? Did you exercise yet? Like me, as soon as I get done with this video, it's time to go for the 3-mile run. And then looking at the clock, it's time for jiu-jitsu class. Get that workout in, be around some good students and some good vibes. Get the mat time in, and then it's just on to the rest of the day. So, you know, what books are around you? You know, Unbeatable Mind, Do the Work, Champions Mind. You know, the Dichotomy of Leadership. You know, Discipline Equals Freedom. Everything's around me. The stuff behind me. You know, what is around you to make these differences and these things and from the plateaus happening. Everyone goes through a plateau. Everyone goes through peaks and valleys. But I'd rather hit more peaks than valleys for sure. So what are we doing today to make sure we're getting towards those peaks versus getting closer, going downward in a downward spiral, hitting those valleys, right? So good stuff today. Dabo Swinney, last year's touchdowns, doesn't score points today. What's next? What are you doing next to make today great, make this week great, and then, you know, November 9th, I mean, almost there. It's almost half of the month, you know what I mean? So it's just, this is it. Last quarter, you know, 2-minute drill to get things done before the end of the new year. So let's get after it. Let's make it happen. And we'll catch you guys on the next one. We'll see you. Have a great day.